Hello and welcome to Sarah's Stitchery. My name is Sarah and this is my channel where I talk all about cross stitch, so welcome. Today is Flosstube episode number 11 and it is May the 4th, so welcome to my channel. I'm glad you're here. I hope you enjoy your time with me today. Let's dig right in. Usually I start with a personal update, but not much has been going on, so we're just going to dig right into the stitching. So I decided today that I was going to finally take my Easter decorations down and pull out my summer decorations. When I say summer decorations, I decorate mostly with bee themed things. I also have some patriotic. I'm not getting that out yet, but I was like, it's time to pull out the bees. So I thought maybe I would start by showing you some previous finishes. So I pulled out my decorations. And one of the ones I wanted to show you was this pillow that I did last summer. This is from Hands On Design. It's called Clover and Hive. I don't remember all the details. I know this is most likely a 40 count fabric, but I don't remember what floss I used or fabric or anything like that, so forgive me. But I do know I used Lady Dot chenille around the edges. I'll come in close, give you a close-up of it. It is gorgeous. I feel like maybe I used the called for, but I can't be positive. And I just used this fabric on the back. I felt like it was the same color as the dark gray on there. And I also stitched this one last year. This is also by Hands On Design, called Humble Honey. And it's actually, the design on the cover is stitched on, I want to say black fabric, and the words and stuff are in white. So what I did is I just used all the same colors that were in this, and I used the same fabric and everything so that they would be companion pieces to each other. Same backing, fabric and everything. So I just loved these. I had so much fun stitching those last summer. I'll just sit them back here while I'm talking. Oops. Okay, I also stitched this, I want to say last spring, and this was a Plum Street Samplers design. I think this came out last year at market, and there's actually a companion piece to it. So this one's Float Like a Butterfly, so I think the pattern was called Float. And then there was a companion piece designed by Heartstring Samplery called Sting, and it has the phrase sting like a bee. So I want to start that soon because this needs its companion. But I stitched this last year. Again, I don't remember the details. I do remember that this is a 36 count fabric. And so I decided to stitch it 2 over 2 because I really wanted the really saturated colors in my pillow. And so that's the backing fabric. I did a pink rickrack trim. I don't know if I love the rickrack. I'm kind of feeling like maybe I want to take it off and put chenille. I liked how the chenille turned out on those, so I don't know. We'll see. I might want to change it when I stitch and fully finish Sting. We'll see what happens. So there's that. And this other one I finished stitching a couple years ago, I want to say, but I think I didn't get around to fully finishing it until last summer. So this is from the Blue Flower. It's called Tudor Bee. I just think it's stunning. This was my first piece ever stitched on 40 count. And it was my first time ever stitching in hand too. So I do remember I started this when I was at StitchCon 2021, I want to say. And this wonderful lady, Deb, she taught me how to stitch in hand. Hi, Deb, if you're watching. She taught me how to stitch in hand. And so, so this kind of has fond memories for me. And so, yeah, I fully finished it last year. Again, I don't remember the details as far as the floss, or I do think the fabric, so it is a 40 count. I think it's Latte by Fiber on a Whim. I think that's what it is. And I finished it with the Lady Dot Creates velveteen on the back and the Lady Dot Creates chenille. So I think I used the called for. I think the called for finishing velveteen and chenille. So those were some previous finishes. I thought that would be kind of fun to pull out and show since I was getting them out anyways, and I haven't actually put them up anywhere in a display. So so I have some fun stuff for you guys today. I have a couple of fully finishes, not previous finishes, new fully finishes to share with you. and I have some great whips to share with you. First of all, let's talk about a couple of exciting things. The first thing is, if you haven't yet seen it, I filmed another segment with my friend Handmade by Sarah W. We did another segment of Stitching with the Sarahs. And Sarah W. is a good friend of mine. We talk all the time. We love stitching all the same things. And so it just so happens like we stitch a lot of the same things. We'll be talking about a pattern and it'll just be like, oh, I've been wanting to stitch this. Oh, me too. And we'll kit it up and we'll just go to town and stitch it together. So we were like, you know, since we stitch a lot of things together, like we should totally like film a segment and share our shared stitching with all of you. Like it doesn't need to just be a me and her thing. We want you guys to join in on the fun and stitch with us. So if you haven't checked out that video yet, you can find it here on my channel. You can also find it over on Sarah's channel. Her channel is called Handmade by Sarah W. And you can watch it in either place. It's the same video, just two different places. And if you haven't checked out her channel, go do so. She's super sweet, and she's just as nice in person as she is on her videos. Like she is so sweet, and her stitching is amazing. What a lot of people have said that they liked about our segment is that even though Sarah and I are stitching a lot of the same things, I'm a linen stitcher and Sarah's an Aida stitcher, and they like seeing the comparison of our stitching side by side and seeing that, you know, it looks lovely on whatever fabric you want to choose. And also, like, sometimes we'll stitch the same thing and like use different colors or different fabric colors. So for example, we recently showed our finishes of Spring Folk by Hands On Design, and it was really cool to see them side by side because we used different colors of fabric, and we also, our finishing boards were stained different colors. We used different background fabrics for our finishing. And it was just really cool to see, like, even though we stitched the same thing, we finished it similarly, like just how different it looked. And that was really cool. People said they really enjoyed seeing that. So if you have watched, if you have left us a comment, thank you. We really appreciate it. We're having a lot of fun with it. So speaking of Spring Folk, I know you're probably like, okay, enough with the Spring Folk, because I've been talking about it a lot, because I hosted a stitch along, and the stitch along's still going. There are people still stitching. So if you haven't stitched this yet, please do. I'm going to pull this out and show it to you. And there's a reason why I'm showing it to you again. So this was the Hands On Design Spring Folk. The Summer Folk design is coming out this month. I cannot wait. And so again, if you haven't seen this, it is a seasonal stitch that can be finished on this paddle here. This is called the Folk Paddle by Chantel's 141 Design Company. And you can just mount it on here using magnets. I've got magnets on the back of both of my pieces. And it's just a very versatile seasonal finishing piece. Now, the reason I'm pulling this out and showing it to you again, not only to encourage you to stitch it with me if you haven't stitched it yet, or to encourage you to keep going if you are stitching it, is because I have a great giveaway for you guys today. Are you ready for this? Okay, so Chantel from Chantel's 141 Design Company, she had hosted a retreat back in September that I attended, and our retreat piece was the Autumn Folk design from Hands On Design. And so it is one of the 4 seasonal folk art band samplers. And so we stitched it for the retreat. Now, Kathy from Hands On Design will be releasing this to the public in the fall, so everybody can stitch it. And so Chantel, she had an extra kit available for this piece, and she sent it to me to give away to you guys. So, are you ready for this? So in this giveaway, you will receive, I don't really want to take all this stuff out of the package because I want to like be able to mail it to you. But in this kit, you will receive, I'll take some stuff out. You'll receive the chart. And in the chart here, you get the pearl cotton. You get enough pearl cotton to do all the specialty stitches. You can get some needles in here. That's really nice. And you get very detailed photographed instructions on how to fully finish this piece. Now, even if you don't have the photograph instructions for fully finishing this piece, Kathy did recently post a tutorial video for finishing the folk art series on that folk paddle. And so you can find that on her Flosstube channel. I will link it below, but I believe that was episode 93. And previous to that, episode 92, she also did a finishing tutorial for the specialty stitches on Spring Folk, just in case you're interested in that. I love her tutorials. They're very easy to follow. Also included in this are where you get the mat boards for mounting your piece on the stitched piece and the fabric backing. You get the fabric backing. You get the batting that you're going to need. You get the rickrack from Lady Creates. You get the twine that you need to wrap around the handle of your folk paddle. And here you even get the little magnets that you need. They're all wrapped up nice and neat for you, so they don't like attach to anything. But also, and I didn't want to take this part is all wrapped up in bubble wrap, and I didn't want to unwrap it, but you also get one of these paddles. And it already comes stained by Chantel, ready to go. So the whole kit includes everything you need. The only thing you'll need to provide for yourself is your fabric, because that's a personal choice whether you want to stitch on Aida or linen, and your floss, which I believe was all DMC. So there you go. So I have a full kit for the Autumn Folk by Hands On Design to send to one of my lucky viewers. Now, since this is kind of a hefty package, I do request US residents only, just because that could be a little pricey for me to have to send out. So, so that said, I am coming up on 5,000 subscribers soon, so keep an eye out for some more giveaways. US and international can apply for that, but for this one, just because it's kind of a hefty package, I do request US residents only. So the requirements to enter the giveaway are that you're a subscriber, you're over 18, because I'm going to need your address, and don't say giveaway or win or anything in your comments. I'm sure you've heard all of that before. Just say, just use the word folk in your comment. You don't even need to come up with something clever. You could just literally say the word folk if you want to enter. So I'm excited about that. Thank you, Chantel, for sending that to me as a giveaway. That's super exciting. And I'm excited for one of you guys to win that and stitch it. And hopefully you'll want to stitch all 4 seasons. Just a reminder, if you are doing the Spring Folk SAL, just to put this back together and show it one more time because it's gorgeous. If you are stitching this with me, just make sure when you post your progress or your finish, make sure you're tagging me at Stitchy Sarah Reads, and tag Kathy at Hands On Design, and tag Chantel if you're using her folk paddle at Chantel's 141. And I'll put all of that below, and make sure you use the hashtag HOD Spring Folk SAL. So I have really, really, really enjoyed seeing everyone's progress, their finishes. It's been really fun seeing people's different takes and their creativity as far as like any, excuse me, let me sit that over there, any like color changes, things like that. So that's exciting. All right, one more thing to show before I get into my finishes and my whips. I recently received a kit here from Caterpillar Cross Stitch. They are a company that's based in the UK. The owner is Sally. She contacted me because she is starting a new stitch along called the North American Adventure SAL. And as you can see, the picture's all blurry because it's a mystery. We don't know what it's gonna look like yet, although I have seen a couple of sneak peeks. I know there's a little White House that's gonna be in here, and a rocket, and just other things that are identifiable as, you know, being in or originating in North America. So I'm really excited. I can just see from the outline there and from the colors, and it's going to be really colorful and cool. So she contacted me and said, hey, would you like to join my stitch along? I'd be glad to send you a kit. I was like, yes, absolutely. So she sent me the kit. It comes in this cardboard, pretty beautiful pink sleeve here. And inside of the kit, it comes with your fabric. So you get a choice of 28 count even weave or 14 count Aida. And it's like this light blue, like powder blue color. Comes with a needle too, so you can just like get right to stitching as soon as you get it. Oh, I think they also have a 16 count Aida, possibly. I think that might be one of the choices. So anyway, you get the fabric. This is one of my favorite features. Look at how the floss comes. And somebody told me, I forget where I heard this, but somebody told me like the floss cards here are like meant to like look like caterpillars. I could see it. That's kind of cool. I love how obviously it organizes your floss beautifully. It's got numbers, so you can, you know, if it's calling for floss number 1, you just come and find number 1. You can see that the ends are held. There's like a little slit here that you just put the end in, so it's not the floss isn't just unwinding. And then you've got these little holes over here where you can attach your extra threads. So if you finish up a motif and you've got extra threads, you can just pop them on those little holes there. But those come so cute. I just love the floss organization. And you also get a little postcard that says woohoo. It's got some details on the back here. You've got a little card here that tells you all of the things you need to know to get started. So especially like this is great if you are a new stitcher, because it gives you detailed instructions on how to do the stitching. There's some diagrams on the back here. They've got some top tips, and then it's giving you some information for if you need more information or support. So this is anything caterpillar cross stitch is fantastic. In particular for new stitchers. Now, it's great for stitchers of all abilities and levels, skill levels. But I love anything that can be friendly for beginners as well, and something we can all enjoy. It's very inclusive. One other fun thing, now this doesn't come with the kit, it's an add-on, but I love how she always does a themed needle minder for her stitch alongs. So if we're doing North America, of course we have to have a taxi. Let me show it to you. Let me show it to you. Oh my goodness. I love their needle minders. They are very, very strong. I'm trying to get that to look how cute that is. So it says CCS NYC, Caterpillar Cross Stitch, New York City. My daughter lives in Brooklyn, so I love this. I might have to share it with her. Who knows? Maybe she won't see it. I shouldn't show it to her, should I? Hopefully she won't watch my video. But the needle minder is an add-on. So as far as the details for the stitch along, the first part of stitching actually starts on May 22nd. So there's still plenty of time to order your kit and be ready to go. I will be posting the links down below for ordering. And I have a discount code. So if you use my discount code, it gets you 10% off of your purchase of a full kit. Don't forget to add on your needle minder too. So my discount code is Stitchy10 American. And again, I'll post that down below, so you can just kind of grab the link down below, grab the discount code, and go order yours and stitch along with me. I'm really excited to see what motifs are going to be on this, as far as, landmarks and things, in the United States. I mean, obviously the White House is an obvious one. I'm trying to think of like what other things might be on there. Like what other big landmarks are there in the United States? Maybe one of our mountain ranges, the Appalachian Trail. I'm going to go to Jackson Hole, Wyoming this summer, so I'm going to be seeing the Grand Tetons. So who knows? Who knows what's going to be on here? Or maybe like what kind of animals she will put on here that are native to North America. So if you have any guesses, put them down below. Okay, all right. Let me put this aside and let's talk finishes. So I'm so excited. I've got 2 fully finished objects to share with you today, FFOs, if you will. And this first one was an older whip of mine. I want to say I started it in 2021 or 2022. I don't remember. If I really wanted to know, I would look back, but clearly I wasn't too worried about it. But I've had this as a whip for a while. So this is a chart by Tellin Emblem called Scissor Sampler. Well, here, let me see when this came out. 2022. So that's when I started it. There you go. I know there's a Scissor Sampler 2 out. I don't have it. I might have to stitch it. But I've had this as a whip for a little while. And if you've been watching me for any amount of time, you know I have a goal in 2024 to fully finish, like finish stitching and fully finish 24 previous whips. So things that were whips prior to 2024. And so my goal is kind of broken down into, I need 6 per quarter, 2 per month. And so this helped me fulfill my 2 per month. I'm right on track with all of my finishes. So I'm really excited about that. Let me stop talking and show it to you. How about that? So here it is. Isn't it gorgeous? Oh my goodness. So I stitched this on a 36 count fabric by XG Design called Rocky Mountain. And it's hard to see on here, but it has like just the slightest like light gray modeling throughout. It's not really coming through on here, and that's okay. I'm okay with it. What I'm really loving is the vibrancy, the saturation of those colors. I'm pretty sure it was all DMC, and I used all the called for, and I stitched this 2/2 on a 36. So for me, 36 count can go either way. Also depending on the weave. Something that's going to be like a tighter weave, like picture this plus, excuse me. I might not want to use 2 strands on a 36 because that might be a little too bulky. But on this XG Design fabric, the 2 strands over 2 really worked out well. I really love the coverage. I'm going to come in close so you can take a look at it. So the margins on the sides were a little bit tighter than the margins on the top and the bottom, but I'm okay with it. It's not a custom frame. I bought this for like 12 bucks on Amazon, so I'm not gonna be too picky about it, but I think it turned out really, really cute. I don't have any glass in this frame. I took the glass out, and I love it. I think it turned out beautiful. I'm excited to have it finished. I pulled this out at the beginning of April. I had maybe a quarter of it finished. So I really like buckled down and got this done. And I'm really happy to have it fully finished and be able to display it in my house. It's so pretty. Okay, so that's my first fully finish. Now this next one, I just finished stitching it yesterday. And I just fully finished it right before I started filming today. I was like, I'm getting this finished because I'm going to show it. So I showed the progress on this in my video with Sarah the other day, our Stitching with the Sarahs episode. And we were stitching Botanical Bee by Hands On Design. This was one of her market releases. And we both just fell in love with it the minute we saw it. And after we finished our Spring Folk patterns, we were like sad. We wanted to have another hands-on design pattern, you know, going together. And so we're like, we already had this kitted up, ready to go. We're like, let's just start it. Let's just do it. So we started this, when did we start it? I want to say we started it like April. I don't know. It took us less than a week to stitch this though. We just finished this up yesterday. And so I just wanted to immediately fully finish it because I knew I was getting out my bee decorations. I wanted to put it out. And so let me show you my finish. Are you ready? Oh, look how cute that is. Look how cute it is. I love it. So I wanted to finish mine exactly as it was finished, on the cover photo here. So it's a round flat finish. I used some honeycomb fabric on the back, and I believe I used 5-inch circles. In fact, let me show you something. I got these from Chantel's 141. They are like circle templates, and I like too that they have the measurements written on them. So I used the 5.5, but that's if you go from the outer circle. I did it from the inner circle because when I was like trying to figure out what size I wanted, I was like holding it up to the stitched finish, and I was like, oh, that's perfect. So I traced the inner circle on some mat board and cut it out. So this is probably like a 5-inch or so. Yes, so it turned out so cute. I made my own cording. I bought the Krynic cord winder, got it off of Amazon. I think it was like $25. And so I made my own cord using DMC. I used 2 of the colors that were in the pattern to make my cording and my little hanger here. And then the pin is the same pin that's on the picture here. It comes from Just Another Button Company. And then I just cut some lengths of ribbon, and they're just attached in here with the pin. Now, I don't love my ribbon choices. I think they're a little boring. I think hers are a little more exciting. I didn't have anything great in stash, so I'm going to look for something else. Just the next time I'm at a craft store or something, see if I can find something that's a little more colorful. I'd like to pick up some of these vibrant like pinks or oranges or something and put those colors. And I think these are a little bit boring, but they'll do for now. But I could just literally take this pin out and put new ribbons on it. So, you know, it's not a permanent decision at this point, but I think this turned out so sweet. So I stitched it on the called for fabric. The called for fabric is 32 count Juniper by Fabrics by Stephanie. And I stitched it 2/2, 2 strands of floss. I used mostly the called for DMC. I definitely used the Weeks Dye Works Grasshopper for the green. And you can see, you could probably see there's a little bit of variegation with that green. I think the brown of the Bee Skeps was also the Weeks Dye Works. What color was that? Dirt Road. Although I don't really see any variegation in that, so I think that one could have just been DMC. Like, I should have just used the DMC for that too. But if you're going to use a variegated floss for any of it, use it for the green, because I think that just kind of added a little extra dimension to it. But I think that turned out really sweet. I love it. Oh, I love it. So pretty. You can't go wrong with a hands-on design pattern. Her stuff is just so cheerful. You can't help but being cheerful when you stitch a Kathy design. Okay, let's get into the whips. I've got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 whips to show you today. If you watched Stitching with the Sarahs the other day, you already saw most of this. So sorry if it's a repeat for you, and I don't really have a whole lot more progress on any of those. But then I do have one other thing that I didn't show on Stitching with the Sarahs, so hopefully you'll stick around and see that. So let's go ahead and get into my whips. Whips stands for Works in Progress. My first one here is a design from Hands Across the Sea called Tom's Foolery. And this was a PDF download on her website. So I was able to like download it and kit it up right away. And I'm stitching this with Sarah, handmade by Sarah W. And because we both were like, I want to stitch this. I was like, I've had this kitted up forever. Let's do it. And so we started it on April Fool's Day because it's Tom's Foolery. So we have a fun hashtag called Foolery on Fools. So if you want to stitch this, use that hashtag with us. So that's what I've got so far. Not a whole lot more than I showed on our video the other day. I'm working on filling in the diamonds on this border with the called for purple. And I kitted this up all in DMC. And so you can see it's not like giant. It's, you know, it's not small, but it's not a big sampler either, which is very interesting because there's so much going on in this thing. I love it so much. So I'm stitching this on, I believe it's Needle Bling. Oh, I know it's Needle Bling Designs, 40 count. And I'm pretty sure the fabric is called Lightning. So it's just like a very light purpley blue type of color. So that's what I've got so far. And here are all the DMCs. So cute, so pretty, so vibrant. Just, it's like a party in a sampler. I just love it so much. So that's my first whip. And that's been really fun to stitch. I can't wait to like get into the motifs. Like we're just trying to get the border done. But it'll be more fun, I feel like, when we get to some of the people and the things going on in there. All right, the next thing I have, first of all, I'm gonna show you my bag for this. I showed it in our video. Sarah W. made this for me. It is beautiful, this beautiful patchwork bag that she made for us. I love that inside fabric. One of our viewers was like, you gotta love those inside fabrics. Yes, ma'am. She made a whole bunch of bags the other day and they were just gorgeous. There's the back, I love it. But in that beautiful bag, we are keeping Serenity by Teresa Kogut. This was a market release. It's humongous. The stitch count is 338 by 340, but it's basically a big square. So that'll be, excuse me, I feel like that'll be a little easier to frame in the end. Here's my colors. Got this on this big like floss dial here. So pretty. I love the colors. And I don't have any additional progress on this. This is what I showed the other day on Stitching with the Sarahs. We finished the house. Excuse me, I really need to take a drink here. I'm getting a scratchy throat, excuse me. But that is where we're at so far. We started right in the middle, and we are both using the fabric Latte by Fiber on a Whim. I'm using a 40 count. I can't remember if Sarah's using an 18 or 20, but we're loving it so far. It's so pretty. So there's that. I can't wait to get back to that one. This next one is a stitch along that Handmade by Sarah W. is hosting with her friend Ashley from Paper Crane Yarns. This is another market release. This was Botanical Study #1 from Petal Pusher. Just look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? So Ashley from Paper Crane Yarns, she's new to stitching. And so she wanted to kind of delve into the world of cross stitch and kind of add that to her shop and her repertoire. And so she went to market, and this was one of the designs she picked up, and it's gorgeous. And so she and Sarah decided to host a stitch along. And here's my progress so far. So again, I don't have any new progress since when I showed it the other day with Sarah. But if you didn't see it, here it is. I'm stitching mine on 36 count Dusk by Picture This Plus, 1/2 strands, and I'm using all of the called for Weeks Dye Works. There's only, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 colors. So it's just beautiful. I love it so far. So there's that. We're keeping it in this really fun keeper that I got when I was at the Steel City Stitchers Retreat. This was made by a woman named Thomasina. Her Instagram is Pause2Stitch, Pause, P-A-W-S, the number 2, and the word stitch. I don't think she has an Etsy shop yet. I know she plans on opening one, but she's going to be selling these beautiful keepers. Mine is a double vinyl pocket, and I bought one for Sarah W., and hers has a vinyl pocket on one side, and the other side has like the little bobbin holders. So she makes those kinds as well. So that's really cool. So we both decided, because it was like the same colors, we're keeping our Botanical Study SAL in there. And that's the hashtag. If you're stitching this with us, or if you're planning on joining in, make sure if you do post anything to Instagram, make sure you are tagging Sarah, Handmade by Sarah W., or Ashley at Paper Crane Yarns, and use their hashtag. The hashtag is Botanical Study SAL. And I'll put all of that information down below in case you don't have something to write it down with right now. But there's that. I have two more whips to show. And actually both of these you haven't seen. Well, you haven't seen this first one ever. And the other one, I'm sure you haven't seen in a while. So this first one is a new start since I saw you last. And I actually I'm keeping this one in another keeper that I got from Thomasina at the Steel City Stitchers. Look at this one. It's so pretty. Oh, there's her card. I'll show it to you. Pause to stitch. But these are just so well made. I love them. So I'm keeping this next project in here. I have seen so many people stitching this. I believe Chantel from Chantel's 141 just finished this design and is working on fully finishing it. This is from a new to me designer named Robin Pickens. And this is called, it's from the Seasonal Courier series, and it's called Robin's Spring. It's so pretty. And so there's one for spring, summer, fall, and winter. All 4 designs are out and available. I went ahead and picked up spring, and I picked up summer. And I have a fun idea for a finish for these, but I'm not going to tell you yet. So maybe on my next video, I will have a fully finished to show you. We'll see. But let me show you my progress so far. So I'm stitching on Robin's Spring. And this is what I've got so far. Isn't it cute? Now I'm stitching this on a 32 count, picture this plus, in the color Sand. And I'm using all the called for DMCs, and I'm stitching 2 over 2. I don't typically stitch on 32 count, you know, with the exception of the last 2 hands-on design pieces I did, and this because I need it to be a certain size for the finish I'm thinking of. So, but I'm loving it. I don't usually like stitching with 2 strands. I just don't always like the way my stitches lay, but I'm pretty happy with this so far. I think it's looking pretty cute. So that's what I've got so far. This is the entire width of it. And so I've almost got the length. There's a little bit more to go down here. So it's going to be just about that size. So it's not a very big stitch, but I just think the colors are so pretty. So I'm enjoying stitching that. So I would like to get that finished and fully finished before I see you next time. So we'll see if I can meet that goal for myself. All right, my final whip today, and this is an old one for me. Now I think I did start this one in 2021. This pattern came out in 2020, so I feel like this one's been a whip for quite a while for me. So this is the Blue Flower Huckleberry Farm, and like I said, I started it a while ago, made some progress, and then I kind of put it away and didn't work on it anymore. But let me show you what I've got so far because it's gorgeous. I love this pattern. I love it. So let me show you what I've got. I didn't bring my board over here, sorry. Look at it, isn't it so cute? So I'm stitching this on, I believe it's a 40 count. Hold on, let me look at my little note here. Yep, it's a 40 count linen from Color and Cotton in the color Mocha. Even though it looks purple, it's the color Mocha. And I am using all of the called for floss. So let's see, some are DMCs and some are Weeks Dye Works. So I'm just using all the called for, and it is just gorgeous. I just love it so much. So my friend Allison she started hers recently. And so that really inspired me to pull mine out and work on it. But I'm so jealous of Allison's. You might know Allison. She's pretty prolific on Instagram. Her account is ally.cat.13. And she is stitching hers on a fabric called Jamie's Kilt by Fabrics by Stephanie. So we saw this stitched on that fabric as a model when we went to the Steel City Stitchers retreat a couple of years ago. And it was stunning on that fabric. And so I was like, darn it, I already started mine. I don't want to start mine over. So I didn't, because I had a pretty good start on it already. But Allison had the benefit of seeing that and buying that fabric. And so she's stitching it on Jamie's Kilt. I wonder I'll have to ask her if she's posted any pictures. She needs to if she hasn't, because that fabric, this design on that fabric, so like it's a really mottled fabric. It's got like grays and purples and reddish pinky colors in it. It's superb. It's superb. So when I see mine next to hers, mine looks a little bit boring, but mine's not boring. It's pretty cool. It's not as cool as hers, but mine's pretty cool. So this is what I've got so far. And I want to keep it out. I want to keep working on it. I think this would be a great candidate for one of my 24 in 24 finishes. So, and I'm keeping this in a vintage Petal Leaf Co bag. Vintage, a couple of years ago, right? I just love this one so much. I love the little bees. I think she called this Bees and Blooms. If you're new here, Painted Leaf Co is my mom. She makes bags. And so this was one of her vinyl bags from a few years ago. So I keep my Huckleberry Farm in there. I love it. It's one of my favorite bags. So those are my whips, my finishes, my whips, all the stitching I've been doing since I saw you guys last. So before I go, let me just try to move some stuff out of the way here. Before I go, I just have a little bit of haul and then I'll let you be on your way. So I recently got my, don't want to move the camera there. I recently got my floss clubs from Roxy Floss. I get the brights and the neutrals. And so these were my May flosses. Look at those rainbow colors. And these are the neutrals. Close your ears if you're wearing earbuds. I'm going to pull them out real quick. Sorry. Because they're so pretty. Keep closing them. Okay. Okay. Here we go. You'll be able to see them better now. The brights. Oh, I love them. And the neutrals. I love Roxy Floss Co. I think they're just great quality. I love the variegation in them. I love the names of the colors. Like this one is called Steam Engine, Hey Sugar, Pretty Please, Kansas, and Peas in a Pod. So they've got fun names, and I just really like, oh, and I do like too that they are 8 yards instead of like the traditional 5 yards. So I really think for what I pay for it, it's a really great deal, and I get a lot of gorgeous flosses that I can sub in on some of my projects where I feel like I might need a color change. So, so that's that. And then I got some bags recently. So let me show those to you. So I just got this one the other day from my friend Jessie over at Wildberry Stitching. She's on Instagram. She's on Etsy. Go check her out. Look at this. So as you can see, I'm all about the bees right now. It's bee season for me. I don't like real bees. I like what they do for the world. They pollinate. They do all the good things so we can have food to eat and live. I just don't want to hang out with bees. But I love stitching them. I love having them on my project bags. And I just thought this bag was so cute. I just love this fabric line. I just love, oh my goodness, look at the little flowers, the little bees and the honeycombs. The backing fabric is gorgeous. And I don't know anything about fabric lines, so don't ask me what fabric line it is. I have no idea. I'm not a sewer. I sew pillows, that's about it. It's got the adorable little bee charm. And inside is this pretty polka dot fabric. So beautiful job, Jessie. I love it. Go check her shop out. Her stuff is amazing. And follow her on Instagram because she's always posting when she's got new stuff available. These next couple are from Painted Leaf Co. So my mom, Kathy, make sure you go give her a follow on Instagram and Etsy. This was a recent bag of hers. I don't know if she has any more of these in the shop. I feel like she doesn't. But this was very cute. I got this from her. And I already have a project in it. And it's going to be my Mother's Day start. Do you want to see? I'm going to assume you said yes. So, inside, oh, first of all, let me show you the inside fabric. this pretty watercolor blue gingham. And inside, I decided I wanted to put my Mother's Day start. So this is the project I'm going to start on Mother's Day. This was also from Nashville. Nashville Market this year, good Lord, had so many good patterns. But this one's from Shakespeare's Peddler. It was a Nashville Market exclusive. It is called Home Sweet Home. It's just beautiful. I kitted it up with all the DMCs. I think I'm using one of the Gentle Arts. I'm stitching this on, this was actually a new color, I believe, from Fiber on a Whim called Moonstone, 40 count Moonstone. And here are the colors. So I love that. There's like some purpley colors in there and some pinks and greens and blues and browns. Just beautiful colors. And it even came with the little button packs. There's like a little bunny, a bird, and a flower in there. So I'm going to start that on Mother's Day. So I thought, you know, Home Sweet Home needed to be in my little bag with all the houses. And if I'm starting on a Mother's Day, I have to put it in a bag from my mother. So beautiful. Speaking of my mother, I got another bag from her just today. She hand delivered it to me. Can't beat that kind of service. She drove this over to my house. She just put these in her shop today. So if you're watching this today, get over there now. Painted Leaf Co. on Etsy right now. Go buy this bag immediately. Look at it. I told you I'm all about the bees right now. And this fabric is phenomenal. I love the lavender like lace trim here. I love the muted purpley swirly dot pattern. Got more of that on the back. And on the inside, more purple, more bees. Goodness gracious. And even though I just got this today, I already have something in it. So remember how I was showing you Float Like a Butterfly earlier today? I knew exactly what I wanted to put in here. I've had it kitted up for a while, so I just pulled it out of whatever bag I had it in before. I need to stitch Sting. Sting Like a Bee from Heartstring Samplery. So that's in here. Along with the fabric I'm going to use, this is Scroll from Bestitch Me. And my floss. I think I'm just using DMC. So I have that all kitted up, ready to go in my brand new bee bag from Painted Leaf Co. So thank you, Mom. And while she was here, she delivered me one more sweet surprise from my sister, who is also a bag maker. I have very talented family members. The sewing gene passed me. I can sew. I'm not that great at it. I will not be selling bags, making bags and selling them. So if you want amazing bags, you just need to go to my mom's shop and my sister's shop. My sister's shop is called Pepper Pot Shop. And she sent me this bag. Now, if you've been here before, you know I have two dogs, and one of my dog is a Chiweenie. She is a little black and brown Chiweenie, and she kind of looks like these doggies, but with brown on her. And they have sweaters. I can't resist a dog wearing a sweater. So she sent this bag for me. It is so stinking cute. And are you ready for the color inside? I don't know if you are. Look, it matches my yellow fingernail. Look at it. I just love the bright colors in this. It's got a little paw print charm. So stinking cute. So thank you, Megan. That's my sister's name, Megan. So Megan of Pepper Pot Shop. I'll link her below. And then Kathy of Painted Leaf Co. I don't think I showed the charm on this one. Got another cute little bee charm. He's so cute. So go give them a follow on Instagram and on Etsy. Okay, I think that's it for me today. I think that's all I have to show. I I don't know if you're new here, I'm a teacher, so I'm really looking forward to the upcoming summer break. I am going to be stitching. I have so many stitchy plans, and so I'm just really looking forward to just having more time to devote to my craft, and hopefully more content to share with you guys. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed watching me today. If you haven't subscribed, I hope that you will consider subscribing. It means a lot to me, especially because I'm like this close to having 5,000 subscribers. I want to have a big 5,000 subscriber giveaway. And so, so yeah, let's help me make that happen. Don't forget to enter my giveaway for the Autumn Folk kit from Chantel's 141. Don't forget to use the word folk in your comment, F-O-L-K. And I guess I'll see you guys soon. Have a great day. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye, guys.